Mega Man X3 on the PS2. This is being played on the Mega Man X collection. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, this is the... Yeah, why does it look so different? A bit of a history. Yes, I played this game on the Super NES. This one's sort of an odd bird, though, because it also got a Sega Saturn release, and I want to say it also got a PlayStation 1 release, which is why you're able to see these videos here. They just cribbed the audio right from the wow, right from the video right there. As you can see right there, they kind of cheated. They try to convert from an anime intro to this traditional Super NES looking intro. So they did not change the actual stages at all. They just added some anime cutscenes and tried to transition into them, and it doesn't work at all. If you're sort of curious how it looks on the Super NES version, you can check out some long plays of that, and you can see, yeah, there's a scene where Mega Man just rides an exploding, insect robot down to this stage, and that's pretty much how the game starts. Which is weird because the game actually, that's how the music actually is cued to that moment. So it's kind of a weird bit. So here they just kind of cut right to the little dialogue sequence, and that's how the game starts. I did review this game on Usenet way back on release. I rented the game from a video store, a local video store. I think it was Potomac Heron Video. Potomac Video out in Lahill, Maryland. And apparently what happened is that, yeah, I was able to get my hands on this game, and I rented it. And it was actually one of the first games I reviewed on Usenet. Back on, Rec Games Video. If you guys don't know what Usenet is, you can go to Google Groups. And you can look at the archives for Usenet, and actually got on the internet using a dial-up modem. And one of the very first places I went was to a video game discussion group. As part of, I think it was the DC area had a few bulletin boards, and some of those bulletin boards actually connected to Usenet. So I discovered a video game discussion group, and this is one of the first games I talked about. And if you're able to dig up, I'll probably end up linking to the video once I'll probably end up linking to the article once I can find it on Google Groups. But it's very poorly formatted. I was actually trying to, I'm playing Zero now. He's got a double charge. Okay, charge it up. I'm not gonna be able to use them for the rest of the game, though. I'm able to play through the game as Zero, I believe. Yep. He has got a double charge and a lightsaber. Ouch! 1, 2, lightsaber. Okay. And yes, he did get his own Game Boy Advance games. I hope that those games are released on Steam. I hope they can just kind of repackage them and release them on Steam, because that'd be nice to be able to play those games. To play all three, or I forget how many Zero games there were, but it'd be nice to kind of play them all. Yeah, I don't want to hunt them down. I don't know if they're really that good. I mean, they're good. Apparently, they're decent enough side scrollers. They don't have a dash. Yeah, I don't have a dash. No, I have a dash. I must have forgotten to. Darn it! Did I forget to remap the buttons? Oh, it's the wrong button. Ooh. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, I got it. Okay, I was worried there for a second. So you charge this up, and you have what? 1, 2, and a lightsaber. I thought you had a lightsaber. There it is. 1, 2, lightsaber. All right. 3 hits. You have to go up. What? Not dead yet. Need to get my dash jump work, because I forgot to fix the button mapping. But as I said, I reviewed this game on Usenet way back when it was released, and it was terribly formatted. It was just awful. I was trying to force a magazine layout using text, and I think the text was very poorly. I think the formatting and the spacing was very poorly preserved, so it didn't work out that well. So I had to reformat it for Facebook. So I'll provide a link to the reformatted text, hopefully in some other location. I might end up going on Usenet just to provide this reformatted document, because I kind of want to preserve all my text, but I have to take that bullet and admit that my ambitious text formatting doesn't really translate. So really, I just need to take all the text that I did, separate it from the stupid rating system that I gave this game. How do I blow that thing up? Yeah, we have to jump and do it. There we go. Alright. I guess that could have been a cutscene. I almost wonder how much money Capcom paid, like, to commission the animation studio just to do these completely forgettable sequences. I mean, I think there's one. I think there's one before the game, after the title sequence. It's about maybe a minute and a half, and maybe the endings animated. I'll check it out. But this was. I mean, this isn't a game that had a lot of animation in it. Like a lot of CD-ROM games, they just use the space for music because it's cheaper to do a Redbook soundtrack than it is to do, like, you know, full motion video. And I mean, the video usually didn't look very good back then either. You know, it was very, you know, limited Japanese animation on a very small budget, and the frame rate was usually pretty low. I mean, even for anime, but you know, the quality of the video wasn't very good. That was a very easy boss. The quality of the video wasn't very good. You know, the quality of the video encoder wasn't very good back then. I mean, it was like, remember, this is before DVDs, kids. So we're talking about not just SD video, but like lower than SD video. It wasn't even like it wasn't even VHS quality, I'll say. I mean, it was pretty bad. So you'll probably be able to see videos of that later. But I might as well just show it to you here if I can get back to the title screen. Press the start button, enter save mode. I want to say, I'm not sure if the CD-ROM versions of this game allowed you to save to a memory stick or a memory card. Because obviously the PlayStation had one. Yeah, of course the Sega Saturn had the memory cartridge, whatever you call it. And of course it had built-in memory saved right on the console, so you didn't need, so the individual games, you know, they couldn't have batteries, they were discs. So the only way to save was to save to the console or to save to a memory memory cartridge. Okay, so I can save the game here, go back to the title screen. We'll finish up the video with a shot of that little intro sequence. Before I do that, let me make sure I mapped to the wrong button. Gosh darn it. Alright, so we'll go back to the title sequence. But I remember at the time commenting that, yeah, this game is extremely difficult, and in terms of the level design and all of the bells and whistles they threw into here, it's probably the best Mega Man game ever. The problem is that, well, the music's not very good, but apart from the music, you have what is, you know, it's a game where gear matters. You get power-ups to your suit that you can use throughout the rest of the game, but you're only allowed to carry one of the upgrades. So if you find them, they're in secret areas, and if you choose to equip that gear, Dr. Light says this is the only upgrade you're allowed to carry for the rest of the game. So you still get your, you know, your boss weapons. You still get your sub-weapons when you defeat bosses. And I believe you still get the energy tanks. And I don't remember if you get weapon reserve tanks. I know you get energy reserve tanks. I'll double check that. It's been 20 years. People give me a break. But you also get another upgrade that either I think gives you it like reduces damage that enemies do to you. I think you might get a speed boost. You might get a double dash, I think, in addition to your regular dash. So I'll check that out. I think there's an air dash you can get. So the game makes very clear that, yeah, there are these different things that you can get. These different upgrades you can get, but you're only allowed to carry one of them. So you actually have to make a choice in terms of how you want to play the game, how you want this to all pan out. And as you can tell, based on all this animated footage you're looking at here, I mean, it might have been interesting at the time this game came out to see this in a video game, obviously, because back then, you know, in America, there weren't that many popular games that had a lot of full motion video like this. I mean, obviously the Wanderers and Ys games did, and like Lunar did, but on the Sega CD, the animated sequences were extremely limited. Like, you would get stuff like, not Ernest Evans, because that never came out here. But there were games that had, you know, minor animated sequences. There were games like Road Avenger that were just full motion video. You know, Time Gal got released over here, you know, which is based on an arcade game, which was basically just Dragon's Lair with anime. So in that sense, it was kind of like Cliffhanger, which was Dragon Slayer with anime. In that case, they took footage from Castle Cagliostro and turned it into a video game, just like Dragon Slayer. But this game is just like a lot of games were on the CD-ROM back then. If they were Japanese, sometimes they would include animated sequences like this. But as you can see, it doesn't compare at all to the animated series. Because if you remember the animated series from the 1990s that Ruby Spears did over here, yeah, they spent a bunch of money on the 30-second opening that everyone loves, but this wasn't as good as that. So that's unfortunate. And it probably couldn't. In fact, if you think about it, that animated sequence wasn't possible on the... Well, it was possible on the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation 1, but it would have looked like garbage. Because the video encoder apparently didn't have the data transfer rate that was possible to produce an image that looked very good. Like that was broadcast TV quality. And back then, the video footage wasn't that high quality. It wasn't until the PlayStation 2 came out, I think, where you could honestly say that, yeah, we can do this video and make it look as good as a television show. Of course, by then, the PlayStation 2 could play DVD quality video, which would have taken up a lot of space, but it's better than what the PlayStation 1 had to deal with, and the Saturn. So this is what we had. This is what we had to work with. So, obviously the video encoder looked a lot better than, the Sega CD did, but there's only so much you can do back then. My memory might be kind of faded on some of that, but yeah, I want to say that it wasn't until the PlayStation 2 where the full motion video got really good. Obviously, DVD quality on some games. But Final Fantasy 7 is not a good example because it was not the quality of the video in that game was not particularly good. So we'll stop the video here and continue the game in earnest.